On Tuesday, the NBA will hand out end-of-season awards for the Most Valuable Player, Rookie of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Most Improved Player and Coach of the Year. We already know who the finalists are, so let's take a look at each of their cases before the NBA crowns its winners. Most Valuable Player. James Harden, Houston Rockets. A two-time runner-up for MVP, Harden averaged 30.4 points, 8.8 assists, 5.4 rebounds and 1.8 steals per game for the NBA's best regular season team. The Rockets set a franchise record by winning 65 games in 2017-18, distancing themselves from the defending champion Warriors in the Western Conference standings by 7 games. Anthony Davis, New Orleans Pelicans. After losing DeMarcus Cousins to a season-ending injury on Jan. 26, Davis put the Pelicans on his back to the tune of 30.2 points, 11.9 rebounds, 3.2 blocks and 2.0 steals per game. New Orleans went 21-12 in those games and made a push for the No. 6 seed in the Western Conference. Davis is also a finalist for Defensive Player of the Year. LeBron James, Cleveland Cavaliers. At age 33, LeBron came the closest he's ever been to averaging a triple-double for an entire season, with 27.5 points, 9.1 assists and 8.6 rebounds per game. He finished behind only Russell Westbrook with 18 triple-doubles, the most the Cavaliers superstar has recorded in a single season in his career. Cleveland won 50 games and entered the playoffs with the number 4 seed. Rookie of the Year. Donovan Mitchell, Utah Jazz. Mitchell led all rookies in scoring with 20.5 points per game on 43.7% shooting from the field and 34.0% shooting from the three-point line, and he broke Damian Lillard's rookie record for most three-pointers made by a first-year player. Mitchell helped the Jazz win 48 games and return to the playoffs despite the fact that the franchise lost its 2 leading scorers in free agency last summer. Ben Simmons, Philadelphia 76ers. Simmons put up numbers as a rookie that we haven't seen in nearly 60 years on one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. He finished the season with 12 triple-doubles, the third most in the entire league behind Russell Westbrook and LeBron James. It was the second most triple-doubles by a rookie in a single season too, besting Magic Johnson, 7, and trailing only Oscar Robertson, 26. Jason Tatum, Boston Celtics. Tatum made an immediate impact on a Celtics team that finished the season with the No. 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. He averaged 13.9 points, 5.0 rebounds, 1.6 assists and 1.0 steals per game on an efficient 47.5% shooting from the field and 43.4% shooting from the three-point line. Tatum then proved himself to be a star in the making with an impressive run in the postseason. Sixth Man of the Year. Fred VanVleet, Toronto Raptors. VanVleet was the leader of the most dominant bench unit in the league and was a difference maker on the Eastern Conference's No. 1 seed. The Raptors outscored opponents by 12.1 points per 100 possessions when the undrafted point guard was on the floor, putting him behind only Stephen Curry, Eric Gordon and Chris Paul in net rating on the season. Read more about VanVleet's Sixth Man of the Year case here. Eric Gordon, Houston Rockets. Last season's Sixth Man of the Year, Gordon increased his scoring to 18.0 points per game this season. With his volume shooting from the three-point line, Houston's offense improved by 7.7 points per 100 possessions when he was on the court. Even though his efficiency dropped slightly, Gordon continues to impact the game in a way few bench players can. Lou Williams, Los Angeles Clippers. Williams led all reserves in scoring with 22.6 points per game and almost carried the Clippers into the postseason without the 1-2 punch of Chris Paul and Blake Griffin. He scored 40 or more points on 4 occasions in 2017-18, including a 50-point outburst against the Warriors on Jan. 10. Williams was considered by some to be a snub for this season's All-Star Game. Defensive Player of the Year. Rudy Gobert, Utah Jazz. In addition to his 2.3 blocks per game, Gobert contested the second most shots around the rim on a per-game basis. Opponents made only 51.9% of their attempts within 6 feet of the basket, a whopping 10.0% worse than their average. Gobert's rim protection is the backbone for the second-best defensive team in the league and the best when he's healthy. Joel Embiid, Philadelphia 76ers. An imposing rim protector himself, Embiid averaged 1.8 blocks per game and held opponents to an equally impressive 50.1% shooting at the rim. The 76ers went from giving up 99.7 points per 100 possessions with their all-star center on the court to 104.0 with him on the bench, the difference between a team like the Celtics and the Wizards in defensive efficiency. Anthony Davis, New Orleans Pelicans. Davis is only the 14th player in NBA history to finish top 3 in Most Valuable Player and Defensive Player of the Year voting, joining the likes of LeBron James, Dwight Howard, Kevin Garnett and Michael Jordan. The Pelicans' big man appeared in more games and played more minutes than Gobert and Embiid, all while leading the league with 2.6 blocks per game and finishing in the top 25 with 1.5 steals per game. Most Improved Player. Clint Capella, Houston Rockets. Capella started every game he appeared in with the Rockets this season and posted career highs across the board. While James Harden and Chris Paul are the leaders in Houston, Capella is the glue that holds them together with his athleticism on offense and his versatility on defense. Similar to Eric Gordon, the Rockets were a different team with him on the bench. Spencer Dinwiddie, Brooklyn Nets. A second-round pick in the 2014 NBA draft, Dinwiddie has developed into a starting point guard in the NBA. He replaced the injured D'Angelo Russell in the starting lineup for the Nets early in this season and ran away with the opportunity. Not only did he average 13.1 points, 6.8 assists and 3.3 rebounds per game from November 14 onwards, Dinwiddie made a Brooklyn team that finished the season with a 28-54 record competitive when he was on the court. Victor Oladipo, Indiana Pacers. Oladipo went from averaging 15.9 points, 4.3 rebounds, 2.6 assists and 1.2 steals per game with the Thunder last season to 23.1 points, 5.2 rebounds, 4.3 assists and 2.4 steals per game with the Pacers this season. He blossomed into an all-star as the No. 1 option on a Pacers team that exceeded expectations by winning 48 games in the regular season and pushing the Cavaliers to the brink of elimination in the first round of the playoffs. Coach of the Year. Dwayne Casey, Toronto Raptors. With the revamped offense, The Raptors won a franchise record 59 games, good enough for them to beat out the Celtics, 76ers and Cavaliers for the No. 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Quinn Snyder Utah Jazz. The Jazz lost Gordon Hayward and George Hill in free agency and still won 48 games. Snyder has built an elite defense around Defensive Player of the Year finalist Rudy Gobert. Brad Stevens, Boston Celtics. Any of the youngest teams in the NBA, the Celtics won 55 games without All-Stars Kyrie Irving, who missed 22 regular season games in the entire postseason, and Gordon Hayward, who suffered a season-ending injury in Game 1, at full health.